The world has shifted dramatically, not from disaster, but from a series of bold policy moves out of Washington. In August 2025, President Trump launched sweeping tariffs on over 90 countries, pushing U.S. tariff rates to their highest in nearly a century. While the administration touts billions in new revenue, the real story is the deepening fractures in America's alliances. The European Union grudgingly accepted a 15% tariff to preserve some stability, but others, like Switzerland, now face crippling 39% tariffs. Tariffs have become a tool for broader geopolitical leverage. Trump even threatened India with 50% tariffs over Russian oil. This has forced nations to rethink their dependencies and seek new partners as the old post-war order dissolves. Allies are now treated as competitors, and economic power is wielded with little regard for tradition. The US isn't just tweaking trade rules, it's rewriting them, pushing even close allies to look for alternatives. The consequences are not just economic, but deeply geopolitical, eroding trust and creating a vacuum for new alliances. Nowhere are these cracks more visible than on America's own northern border. The era of seamless US-Canada cooperation is over. In response to Trump's tariffs, Canada is decisively pivoting away from its southern neighbor. Border crossings have plummeted, car travel down 34%, air travel by 25%, and over 1 million fewer Canadians visited the US. In July 20,000 son, indauber by kisabat, fi quine, tenduding kan stuver, domparid, dantau prividosker. Airlines have suspended 8 routes, and Canadians are spending their money elsewhere. Trade numbers tell the same story. Canadian exports to the U.S. fell by $5 billion in 2020 now in the students golden now and 25. But as the U.S. market closes, Canada is opening new doors. Exports to the U.K. have surged 63%, making it Canada's second-largest export market, and exports to the EU are up 26%. This isn't just policy, it's a grassroots movement. A Buy Canadian ethos is reshaping consumer habits. Indigo's Canadian book sales are up 25%. Loblaw's sales of American products are down 15-20%, and Jack Daniel's sales have collapsed by 62%. Canadians are sending a clear message. They no longer see the US as a reliable partner. The diplomatic chill is real, and the economic shift is accelerating. Canada is forging new alliances and reducing its dependence on the US. The old relationship is finished, replaced by a new era of Canadian independence. This pivot is both a reaction to American hostility and a proactive strategy for the future. Canada is now looking outward, not south. The consequences for North American trade and culture are profound. The world is watching as Canada redefines its place on the global stage. Leading this transformation is Prime Minister Mark Carney, a global financial heavyweight turned political leader. Carney's election was seen as a referendum on Trump's presidency and its impact on Canada. With experience as governor of both the Bank of Canada and Bank of England, Carney brings unmatched expertise to the crisis. He's taken a defiant stance, vowing that Canada will never be part of America, and directly accusing Trump of trying to undermine Canadian sovereignty. Carney's rhetoric is bold, but his initial actions were conciliatory, lifting retaliatory tariffs and pledging more defense spending. Washington, however, offered no concessions, deepening the rift. The U.S. ambassador blamed Canadian politicians for anti-American sentiment, only fueling Carney's resolve. The Carney Doctrine is now clear proactive internationalism, building ties with Europe and the Commonwealth. Carney refuses to engage in a tit-for-tat trade war, instead focusing on new alliances. His strategy is to insulate Canada from American volatility and reposition it as a stable global partner. The old patterns of reliance are gone. Canada is charting its own course. Carney's vision is reshaping Canada's role in the world. Amid this realignment, a significant new partnership is emerging between Canada and Ireland. Ireland, long close to the US, is now strategically aligning with Carney's Canada, seeing it as a more stable and compatible partner. Carney's Irish heritage and European experience have forged a unique bond with Dublin. For Ireland, Carney is not just another leader, he's one of their own, now at the helm of a G7 nation. This personal connection, combined with Carney's deep understanding of Europe, makes him an ideal partner for Ireland in a post-Brexit world. Ireland is prioritizing deeper economic and political ties with Canada, viewing it as a gateway to North America that shares its values. The alliance between the Shamrock and the Maple Leaf signals a major shift. America's closest friends are hedging their bets. The Ireland-Canada partnership is built on shared values, not just convenience or heritage. Both nations champion multilateralism and a rules-based global order, standing in stark contrast to America's transactional approach. Trump's tariffs and skepticism of alliances have unsettled traditional partners like Ireland. For Ireland, whose prosperity depends on stable global trade, U.S. unpredictability is a major concern. Carney's Canada offers a reliable alternative, strengthening global institutions and pursuing new trade agreements. Dublin sees Ottawa as a partner who shares its diplomatic language and worldview. Ireland's pivot north is a clear rebuke of America's current direction, prioritizing shared values over old ties. Ireland's alignment with Canada is a wake-up call for Washington. Trump's America First policies are eroding U.S. influence and prestige, alienating even its closest allies. The old assumption of America as a reliable partner has been shattered. As allies question U.S. commitments, American soft power and coalition-building capacity are fading. Each tariff and slight chips away at U.S. leadership, leaving the nation more isolated. The administration's focus on short-term gains ignores the long-term costs of lost alliances. America's pursuit of dominance is making it more vulnerable, as friends begin to build a new world order without it. The Ireland-Canada axis signals a deeper, lasting shift toward a fragmented, multipolar world. Once trust is broken and new trade patterns form, they're hard to reverse. As Canada and Europe redraw supply chains, America's central role in the global economy is shrinking. The Buy Canadian movement shows how quickly consumer sentiment can shift, hurting U.S. brands and jobs. Geopolitically, the U.S. risks isolation as the Western alliance fractures. America's leadership is becoming optional, not essential. History warns that great powers decline when they lose allies' trust. The world is moving on, and the U.S. must decide whether to change course or be left behind.